1952. The Academy Award is officially 20 years old. The Academy Award ceremony for Best Animated Short Subject is officially 20 years old. So who won the Big 2-0? Why, Tom and Jerry, of course. Johann Mouse was the last of the 7 Tom and Jerry cartoons to win an Academy Award, and UPA's influence is felt on this short. The characters' designs are updated to be more minimalist, which is initially skipped out upon, but would later become the de facto designs for these characters. It's basically... It even has like a commentary on how things behave, like UPA. A cat chases a mouse until people notice. Hold on, let me start again. A cat chases a mouse, and he lures this mouse out by playing the piano, which causes the mouse to waltz. People notice the mouse waltz and the cat playing the piano, and they decide to make them celebrities. Unfortunately, animal instincts get the better of them. Well, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but what about the runner-ups? Second place, Little Johnny Jet, the triumphant return of Tex Avery, and he was basically the leading voice in not just MGM, but all of cartoons in general by this point. Red Riding Hood, Screwy Squirrel, George and Junior, and of course Droopy, among many other cartoons, including my personal favorite, Magical Maestro, were all created by this man. And this was the first cartoon that he made after a year-long sabbatical from the business because he was about to have a breakdown. Out of all the cartoons to nominate him for an Academy Award, why this one? It's really low-key. It's about a plane that suddenly bursts a fire jet, and he feels ashamed about it because he doesn't want to move on. It's basically a remake of Avery's One Cap's Family, but with jet planes instead of cabs. It's nice that his 2 Academy Award nominations for MGM's 2 Academy Award nominations for MGM was first his very first cartoon for them, and then his first cartoon upon his return. But Tex Avery would continue directing cartoons at the studio until 1955. And the UPA influence began rubbing off of him, much to everyone's chagrin. He left because things at the studio were going downhill and he wanted to reunite with Lance. Speaking of UPA, here we have 2 UPAs. Third place is Madeline, A Jolly Frolic, and fourth place is Pink and Blue Blues. Madeline adapted the book of the same name. And although this was the only time UPA dealt with Madeline, Gene Dyke, one of the animators for the studio's commercial division, would animate the two of the sequels at his own production company. Pink and Blue Blues, meanwhile, was the second cartoon to feature Mr. Magoo to make it to this ceremony. And you can see right here the difference. And you can see right here the unit system in place. UP had 2 units. One led by Bob Cannon and the other led by Pete Burness. Though they occasionally let other animators direct projects. Cannon is going to do the non-Mr. Magoo stuff, and Pete Burness is going to be rifled with Mr. Magoo, though he will do some non-Mr. Magoo stuff, thankfully. Making him a bit more liberal than Hanna-Barbera and their Tom and Jerry's. In that he actually focused on more than just one character. Wait a minute. A foreigners? What the? Incoming from Canada! Last place. Meet the National Film Board of Canada. Formed in 1939, is basically the Canadian government's official film bureau. And they produce a lot of things, but they're best known for their animation department, which made its debut here. This was a shock. Something outside of Hollywood, let alone outside of America? No one had ever heard of that before, but against all odds, The Romance of Transportation in Canada, produced by Tom Daly, directed by Colin Lowe. I'm sorry that I put Colin Daly here. I don't know what I was thinking. And narrated by Guy Glover, did that. It achieved this feat in 1952. And this is not going to be the only time. It's far from the only time that they're going to be here. So that's something to know. And they also tend to be a lot more socially liberal than even UPA during this time. Because in addition to English, they also got French films, and they also got lots of different films from different minorities in different perspectives and animation styles. So it's no wonder that they thrived during the dark age of animation. But that's for another time. Until now, like, subscribe, and comment, and this is the Man from Wackyland notifying you that this is the 20th anniversary ceremony, 1952.